Hello, today we're going to be making southern chicken and dumplings. Now what I've got here is I've got 4 big pieces of meaty chicken. I'm using the dark meat, the legs and thighs. I didn't cut them apart. You don't have to. We're going to boil it up. You can use a whole chicken if you want. I just don't need that much. So what I've got here is I've got some chicken stock. And you can use stock in a box, or you can use water and bouillon. And we're going to cover our chicken. And I'm going to add a little bit more water because I don't think that's enough juice. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn the stove on high to get it started. And what I'm going to add to this is I'm going to add 1 bay leaf. I've got 1 roughly chopped onion. Add that. I'm going to go ahead and add some garlic powder. I'm going to add some onion powder. Okay, now what I'm going to add to this is I've got some poultry seasoning. I'm just going to add about a half a teaspoon of this. And I'm going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon of margarine. Together. Now because I added some water and I've weakened my stock a little bit, I'm going to add about a teaspoon of this Maggie's chicken bouillon. Might add more later, but after this gets cooked a little bit so I can taste it and see what other seasonings I may need. Okay, I'm going to get this boiled up, and then I'm going to take the chicken out, and then we're going to debone the chicken. Okay, now our chicken started to boil, so I turned it down to like medium high, and I'm going to go ahead and put a lid on it. And if any kind of foam comes on the top, you need to skim that off with your spoon and throw it away. And if you were just using all water in this, you were going to need about 5 to 6 chicken bouillon cubes, or 5 to 6 teaspoons of the powder to get the flavor, the adequate flavor that we want. And don't salt it until we get to taste it, because a bouillon is salty on its own. Okay, the chicken got done. I tasted the juice. It only needed a little bit of pepper, so I added a little bit of black pepper, and that's to your taste. Now we're going to make up the dumpling part while our chicken is cooling off. And what I'm going to add here is I've got 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt to that. And we're going to whisk this all together. And what I've saved here from out of my homemade stock was a cup of broth. And I put it in the refrigerator to keep it cold because we need it to be cold for our dumplings. I don't add any eggs or any shortening or butter or anything to my dumplings, because I was told by my mother that if I did any of that, then I wasn't making dumplings anymore, that I was making noodles. So, and you're going to add a little bit at a time to this. And you can use your hands if you want to, but I'm going to use this fork here. And we're going to get this all combined, and we're going to make a big round dough. Okay, now we're going to finish this up with nice clean hands here. And yes, I did wash my hands before I even started cooking. now we're going to let our dough rest while we debone our chicken. Okay, it's time to roll up our sleeves and roll out these dumplings. Now I've had extra flour. I've floured my work surface. I'm going to flour my rolling pin, and we're going to roll this out to like 1/8 of an inch. If you like thicker dumplings, then about 1/4 inch would work. Okay, with my pizza cutter, I've cut down the middle, and then I cut it down the middle again, and then we cut strips. Now if you want little short strips, you can make them smaller. I like the long strips. We've got to wait for our broth to come back to boiling. It must be boiling before you start dropping these dumplings in there. Okay, our broth's boiling, so this is how I do mine. Just take them up, and I just kind of lay them on a few. I'm just going to try and stick there. Lay them on my arm. I'm going to use this to get them up. Here, and we just start dropping them in. And I know that they say never stir dumplings. With this big fork here, you can push them around a little bit so you can add some more when you need to. Okay, our chicken and dumplings are done. Now, how long I cooked them was that when after I got all the dumplings in and were boiling, I cooked them for 5 minutes, and then I turned the heat down and to about medium. I let them simmer for 15 more minutes. And just go ahead and taste this. And also, if you need more dumplings than I did, you can increase the dumplings. You can use 3 cups of flour, 1½ teaspoons of salt, and 1½ cups of the stock. These are still hot here. And it's nice, it's good, it's homey. It's good for a cold day like today. Thank you.